Hey, church leaders, welcome to the 101 video on what is a brand script. So you're looking at a brand script right now. A brand script is a tool in marketing that we use to help us tell our story about what a brand is offering. Specifically, it helps us walk a customer from the world to being educated on what we have to offer them. Whenever someone is considering making a purchase or taking you up on one of your services that you're offering, they're asking you two questions. What are you offering and how does it help them? A brand script breaks down how we talk about any product so that we can answer both of those questions. So what we have in front of us is a pre-filled out brand script. I'm going to start by just focusing on what each box means and the flow that a brand script walks us through. And then I'm going to go through specifically for Connect Camps, what is our brand script. This training is going to be a little bit more in depth than our step 2 training video, which you may or may not watched. If you want to know more about what step 2 of the marketing coordinator plan is, you can go watch that video or check out your marketing coordinator manual. This is a part of step 2 for those who are interested in taking a deeper dive into what is a brand script. So let's get started. There are several different parts of a brand script. And we read our brand script in this way. This is section 1, a character. Section 2 is has a problem. So it kind of reads like a sentence. A character has a problem. Section 3 is meets a guide. So a character has a problem and meets a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action that ends in a success and that helps them avoid failure so that they can be transformed as a character. So this is the very end, kind of the summation of everything. And you see our flow goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 through 7 in one sentence right here. So let's look at each section on its own. A character. So a character is all about who is that customer. This step of the marketing coordinator plan, step 2, comes right after step 1. Step 1 is all about clarifying who this character is. So you need to know what the character wants, who they are, what are they interested in, what are their likes, dislikes, their status, their current purchases, their risk aversion, all of those things make up your character. And hopefully your target audience is clearly defined so that you do have a really good picture on who your character is. Your character is going to inform how you write every single step after this. So it's best to just kind of like make an ideal picture of who your character is, and that is who you're defining right there. But you're mainly focusing on what do they want for this brand script exercise. Okay, so once you have a character, your character is always going to have a problem. In order to sell anything, you need to be addressing a need because your customers are asking, what are you offering and how does it benefit them? If it's going to benefit them, then it's obviously filling some sort of felt or hopefully not, but unfelt need. Felt needs are much easier to address. These external problems that we're talking about in has a problem are those felt needs. So an external need is something that's really obvious. Anyone from the outside could be looking in and see that that is a problem. So a felt need or a problem, an external problem could be, your car goes out and now you need a new car, or you're turning 16 and you need a car, something like that. Something that's just like really obvious, that is like an external problem. We'll come back and talk about how that is connect. So an internal problem is something that a character might be struggling with inside their own head. Someone from the outside may not be able to see it, but like it's internal in them. They want something like a goal or an aspiration. It could be to it wouldn't be easy for them to see from outside. And then philosophical is just like a shared belief amongst a group of people that is for an entire culture rather than a individual. So external, outside looking in, internal, inside of that person that may not be obvious. And then philosophical is like kind of for the group or for their group that they live in or that area. So we know that our character has a problem. We have a character and we've really clearly articulated what the problem is. But now they're going to meet a guide. The guide is that organization. So this is where you can really show them how it's going to benefit them and establish yourself as the expert in what they're in who they are and what they're feeling. Okay. So you want to always, whenever you're establishing yourself as the guide, you want to express empathy, which means using a statement like, we understand that, or we have felt that before, or those types of statements so that your customer understands that you're not talking down to them, but that you're standing shoulder to shoulder with them. And then obviously you're going to want to express your authority on the subject as well. If you're going to be guiding them, then your customers want to know that you are an industry leader in this topic. So it's a great place to have numbers, have certifications here, or any other types of things that would help establish credibility as you are guiding this customer to the end result. Okay, so our character has a problem. We have a character, we have a problem, and we've now introduced ourselves as the guide, as the solution to help them with their problem. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's time for us to give them a plan. So they know that you're the expert. What are they going to do now? And so that's just the process of buying. It could be go to your local car dealership, or it could be check us out at your local Walmart and look for the sports drink aisle and go find Gatorade there. It could be go to Amazon.com, or you can find this at your local retailers. You're giving them a plan of what to do next to get this product. And that is, for us, the process of buying. And we'll go over what that looks like in a second. And then you also want to make sure that they have a call to action. So buy now. That's your buy now moment. So your character has a problem, meets a guide. You've given them a plan. What are the 1, 2, 3 steps that they need to take to buy this, to experience your product? And then the call to action is really about the point of sale moment, your buy now moment that calls them to action. You can do that directly by telling them, you buy now. Or you can try to establish trust with them in an indirect call to action that says, hey, we have 5 resources or 5 activities for you. And they'll be so fun. They'll give you a taste of camp. And at the bottom of that, it has your buy now moment. It's another way to do it. It's less salesy, but also less effective. So you've probably seen some examples of that, sending out parent nurture resources. And you are able to send those out as well as part of your communication plan. So that's that section, then calls them to action. And then we want to really, as we get towards the end of the brand script, we're really wanting to highlight the success. Highlight what does success looks like. Show them the beautiful picture at the end that says, when we ended success, this is what it looks like. Look how awesome it is. You don't want to miss it because this is so awesome. And so that's what showing them what ends in success looks like. But just as important as how amazing the picture is, there's also a part of taking us up on our offer that avoids failure. And you want to make sure you highlight that if you don't take us up on it, look how awful that will be. So not only does it end in success, and that's great, but you also avoid failure. And that would be so awful if you did that. So those 2 points are very important because people are always going to buy when they want to, and this will help create urgency for them to want to buy it sooner. When you paint a really clear picture of success and a really clear picture of failure. Now, that's a lot of information, and you might be like, how am I going to communicate all that in just a text? That's where this character transformation comes into play. You get to summarize all of this into one short little sentence, but by going through this process, you really understand where a character was and where they are now. So that's where your from and your to statement comes in. You want to be able to clear everyone on your team. You want them to be able to clearly say, you were here and now you're here. Congratulations. You did it. So proud of you. Look how far you've come. And for Connect Camps, that is going from a parent who is stressed out, unsure of what to do with their kids over the summer, to the superhero that provided their kid this awesome, remarkable day camp experience that they're going to remember forever. And there's so many stories of that. I was a product of that. I remember going to camp and being so grateful I got to be at camp growing up whenever I was younger. So let's talk about now, what is this in relation to a generalized picture of Connect Camps when it comes to a brand script? It's important that you communicate your specific brand script with your team, because if you don't, then your team is not going to be talking about Connect Camps the same way, which means it's going to be really hard for your customer to understand what you're offering to them. They're asking you 2 questions. Remember, what are you offering and how does it benefit them? And if your customer is not sure on how on what you're offering, then they're probably not going to take you up on your offer for Connect Camp. So our character is obvious. It's parents, and even more specifically, moms. Moms want to provide for their kids, and they want their kids to have fun, be safe, and learn more about Christ, or learn, build, and also build relationships with other campers that are their age. Most moms want that. We've surveyed moms over the years, and those are things that always come up: safe, fun, relationships, and even the Christ-centered aspect shows up, even with 40% of our campers not being involved in the local church that hosts, which is awesome. So our character is obvious. We know what they want. We know what they're looking for. So those words are going to be key throughout our brand script. We know what our problem is. Our external problem is that kids are out of school. That's obvious. They're gonna have to do something with their kids, and parents are looking. Parents are looking because there's an increased number of single working parents and an increased number of parents working, both parents working, which means they have to find something for their kids every single day. And childcare, that's expensive. I'm preaching to the choir, I know, but childcare is expensive, and they don't want their kids to be bored over the summer. They maybe sometimes feel bad for not taking them on vacation, which that kind of goes into the second one, but they don't want their kids to be bored. They're out of school, and they're looking for options that are not daycare. That's an external problem. Our internal problem is they're really nervous about their kids having a good summer. That goes into what I was saying about vacation. An internal problem is they might feel bad that they have to work and they don't get to take their kid to Hawaii, Europe, and Australia this summer, like some of their friends are going, but they want to be able to provide them something that is actually attainable. And so they're looking for that. They're concerned that they have limited money and only a couple weeks. So how can they best use that time? And then for the philosophical problem, it is accepted in the media and TVs. You think of movies like, Parent Trap that have camp, and Camp Rock, and all those movies that portray camp. Camp is a part of the American culture, especially in the Bible Belt. Camp is just a part of culture, and parents want to send their kid to camp in the summer. They have memories of camp, and they want their kids to experience camp as well. And they also want their kid to have fun. And that is associated with summer. Summer is fun. Kids should have fun in the summer. Camp is fun. I went to camp, and so I want to provide that for my kid. And so you can understand that that is underneath the surface as well. So that's how we dissect the problems of what a parent might be facing. Okay. Now enter your church, enter the guide, and Connect Camps, who's also a guide right there with you. We have designed remarkable experiences with that are expertly vetted and trained summer staff to give your kids a week that they will never forget. Our own lives have been impacted by camp, and we want to share that with others. So we understand what they're going through, and so we created a camp specifically for them. That's the empathy. The authority is, this is not new. Connect Camps is a trusted brand. Your church has been hosting camp for X number of years. Connect Camps has been providing camp for 350,000 campers over the last several years. And so they have authority on this topic that will help provide peace of mind as your church and Connect Camps work together to be the guide. Our plan is easy. You have to find your city, you have to register now, and then you experience Connect Camps, and it'll be a wow from the moment they drive up. If you've hosted camp, you've seen it before, and you can share that with families. The plan is easy. There's an easy plan. It's simple. It's just 1, 2, 3. Go find our community, register, and then have fun at Connect Camps. When you do that, you have to directly call them to action. Our 2 direct call to actions are register now, which is from February when registration opens all the way through the Monday morning of camp, or get notified, which is from October 1 when your plan starts to the day that registration opens in middle of February. So register now or get notified. And then there's also some indirect call to actions, which may be download this resource or check out these 3 games. And we send out that monthly kind of content throughout the year. 3 in the spring, or 3 in the fall, 4 in the spring. We also want to, so we know the character, we know they have a problem, we've established ourselves as the expert in the problem, we've given them a plan, and then we've also called them to action. So now we have to communicate what does success look like. This is the beautiful picture. Parents enjoy hearing about their day. Parents can go about their daily lives while their kids are at camp. Kids hear uplifting content. Kids are active during the day. Kids develop self-confidence to improve their social work, their social skills. They learn about teamwork. They learn new skills and activities, and they make new friends. Parents and kids want to come back to next year. That's a huge success because most of the stuff they go to, like school, they don't necessarily want to go to every day. And so this is something that they can look forward to do during the day. And then parents end up seeing their lives change because they get to start a relationship with Jesus Christ, and they finally find a church community in your church that they make even more friendships. That's the awesome picture of success. You have to paint that picture when communicating about Connect Camps. Notice the things that we highlight in success tie back to fun, safe, and Christ-centered that we said in character. So that's a kind of a tie here. What they want is the picture of success. So that's important to point out there. And then avoids failure is honestly the opposite of success. So because a parent chooses to go to Connect Camps, it means that their kid will not be bored all summer and will not miss out on an opportunity to learn about Jesus Christ. If they don't register for Connect Camps, then they're going to have to go to daycare, and your parents are not 100% sure that that is fun all day. It's just childcare, and it's may not be as safe as Connect Camps. They might even have to spend more money doing it, and they will still be stressed because they're not 100% confident in their other alternative childcare opportunities. And there's more. And if you paint the picture of failure, it makes the picture of success even more clear. So, all in all, our character, we know who they are. We've talked about their problem. We've established us in our church and Connect as the guide. We've given them a plan and called them to action, painted a picture of success, and even said, we're not messing with this failure. So our parents have signed up for Connect Camps, and they've gone from stressed out, unsure what they're going to do over the summer, to the super mom or dad with the inside scoop on giving their kids the day camp experience of a lifetime. So that's a brand script. That's what they're used for. Now it's your job as the marketing coordinator or the camp host to share this document with the people of your church staff and your high-level leaders so that they can communicate about Connect Camps when you are also communicating about Connect Camps.